easy when you hit that button.
And I've always said that. I'm not even on the right tab.
Perfect.
Why is it always just on me? Why don't you put it on you? You know? Strap up. I'm keeping that in. That's gonna be fun. Sometimes I take out like the whole beginning because it's either like
all like
nothing.
Or it's such gems. We're like, we'll lose whatever's at
I'm not even over here yet. I'm like, I'm keeping that in. That needs to stay in.
We're like, oh, Deb's on for our first for the first 5 minutes.
Perfect. Until we swear one time. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Ashley.
I'm not that funny.
Okay.
No, Deb, you are funny. Don't.
I am kind of cold now.
Oh, sweet baby. No, you can't touch any of those things.
My toes are cold.
Well, go grab my jacket.
No.
My
I'll
shirt.
just be angry the whole time.
Angry Jesse.
Oakley's not here. Oh, where's Oakley?
Oh, day off.
Oakley has left the chat.
Out. She's here for the long haul.
Is he mowing?
He's mowing the lawn.
He loves mowing the lawn.
Does he?
Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't do it by himself. But
I was say that you need to get mow.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Better be stopping in Bristol.
Throws ice cream at the door.
You know what I bought?
What did you buy?
I bought those.
Oh no. Oh no.
What are those popsicles? The red, white, and blue ones.
Oh, the
Rocket Pop.
Yeah.
I haven't had one yet, but I did buy them.
Oh, because I just gave you that little bit of that drink and it tasted like it. Remember that drink, the blue drink?
Well, actually, I bought it because Kelsey went too. They just left you high and dry. They better bring you back some.
See.
No, I bought Liquid IV that was that flavor, and I was like, "Ooh, I could go for one of these as a popsicle."
Yeah.
You know, like a real real deal. So, going after?
Yeah,
maybe a little sweet treat after.
I'll suck on your pop.
Oh my god!
And I've always said that.
Oh no! I can't believe it's left you.
I know.
You didn't want to go?
Speaking of pops, look who popped up. Brian.
Oh.
Yeah, Brian.
Fuck that guy. Hi, bye.
Yeah, listen. Backpedal.
I am telling you.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Making lunches.
Oh, you're making lunches? Anything good?
So they get ice cream and you have to make lunches?
Yeah.
What a ripoff. Okay, Deb.
So we're going to story time now?
Yes.
Okay.
This one's for Deb. Deb, you have to stay on for this one.
Okay. Oakley's here, click.
No swears, I promise. It's actually about your mother.
Whoa!
So she came in to get a pedicure on Monday, and Karen has a picture of Kelsey and I from when we got engaged.
Okay.
Right next to it.
Right next to the
pedicure chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
We said next to
sorry,
it.
Sorry. Like... Next to the pedicure chair.
Okay.
She said, "Oh God." So I went to the other side to maybe check the messages or something like that. Right. I was like, "I'll be right back." So I came back, and she's holding the picture.
Oh, she's holding it now.
Yeah, because it's just like a.
Okay.
She's holding the picture, and she's like, there are no words. I just love this picture so much. Okay. I love the two of you. There's just no words. And she places it down. I'm like, well, thank you. Like, I really do like that picture. And she was like, I need that picture. I was like, okay. She's like, I need one to put on my family wall.
Aww.
Sorry, everyone. I literally almost bawled my eyes out.
That is nice.
I was like, oh, thank you.
I actually had a crying moment, too. Before one of my friends going MIA, which we haven't still talked to in quite a few months. I don't know.
He's not talking to me?
Yeah. Well, his mom died.
His
grandmother died. And his favorite uncle died. Like within months of each other. Mm-hmm. Plus, he got kicked out of his. The older brother of the family, so it's like older uncle, I would call him, if you will, decided to sell the house that they all lived in. Like it and he had to get kicked out. He's in Virginia. Like everything.
Year.
Shit hit the fan for this kid.
Yeah.
Well, we're not kids anymore, and we're 48. He's having a hard time, and he kind of crashed on us, and we're in a chat where there's the three of us, and he says to us, "I have something I want to show you guys," and I said, "Oh, okay." And
it's his dick.
We've seen that before.
This one was actually erected.
I had to play.
He's like, I don't know if I'm having a heart attack or a heart on. Sorry.
I'll never forget. So.
Never forget. Heart attack or heart on.
That's a great episode to listen to.
Yeah. If you missed it. Sucks for you.
On YouTube. It's a family pitch. It's there's pictures of me, Keith, but it's all his brothers and sisters and his mom, and it's a giant board with just all cut out pictures, if you will, of like everything in the and we're looking really and I'm like, oh, this is so pretty. It's and you can tell things are kind of just like taped on, like it's not professionally done. It's just like. And all of a sudden, I got to a point. He goes, "You guys are there too." And like in the corner, there's a picture of me, like a kid, and Keith on the other, and then a different picture on the other side. Yeah.
I hate being flat or a flat one.
Oh, here we go.
Do they get flat?
So here we go. We gotta have this. We got now we got Debbie that hates penises. We got Brian who hates the vagina. So we're gonna have the
feud.
Because these two are the only people I know that hate the opposite sex more than anything else in the world when it comes
to the crotches.
Because anytime you talk about vagina next to Brian, we have to hear, "Oh God!" And now we got Debbie.
I don't think Brian's still on.
I think
Brian left the chat.
Brian probably got turned off. So, he says, "I hate penis," and he's like, "I'm out."
Pretty much. Oh, and the other thing that happened.
Okay.
So, Grandma Pat came in last week and this week. She had 2 different appointments. She didn't want to get her pedicure done at the same time. That's what I went. So last week she had a pedicure.
Yeah.
And then I had somebody right after her for nails.
Right.
So she was sitting. She's like, "I'll just sit here for a few minutes and then I'll leave.
Right.
I'll say bye to you or whatever." And then she was like,
I assume she's letting everything dry a little longer.
Yeah. So the pedicure chairs are like in the back.
No, I'm just trying
No, but for everyone else.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just trying to figure out. I'll be like, why is she sitting a little longer?
Just
she's letting everything dry.
Yeah. So she was sitting in the back, and then there's like a little like half wall thing. And I was sitting like right behind the wall, but there's like an entrance in the middle. And I've always said that. So I'm doing this person's nails, and Grandma was like, "Oh, did you show that picture of me and the alpaca to the other Karen?" And I was like, "Oh no, I haven't." So she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go show her." She goes over there, and she's over there for a long time, and then it was like an hour later, and I was like, "Did Grandma leave?" So I popped my head outside, and I'm like, "That fucking bitch!"
She's like doing someone's nail. You're like, "What are you doing?"
So I was like, "Oh, she left without saying goodbye. How rude." So I texted her. I was like, "Excuse me, did you forget something?"
She's like, "Oh my God, my shoes!"
she sent me back question marks, and I was like, "You didn't give me a hug and kiss goodbye." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I can go now if you want." I'm like, "No, I'm going home. I get it. You don't love me anymore."
She whipped out the Fairchild guilt trip, like, "You don't buy me anything good. You don't love me anymore."
So, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So she's gone.
So like, I'm just busting her balls, and so I was like, "No problem. Like I'm just kidding around. Whatever." So the next day, I have Rosemary in my chair again, and I'm like blow drying her hair, curling her hair, and in walks Grandma. She puts her purse on. She's like, "You know why I'm here?" I was like, "Are you here to give me a hug and kiss?" She's like, "Damn straight, and I will do anything for you." And this proves it.
All right, no, I have because you.
Yeah, whatever. Sammy did not replace me. Jake did. Let's be
and
real.
I've always said that.
Right.
I spent 5 minutes with Jake, and I think I disowned all of you guys. I was like,
He's like a golden retriever.
he was just like, I was like, why does he have an aura around him? He's like, so I did this. I was like, ooh, and I was like, where's that coming from? Why are you talking like that? He's like, so I'm going to do this when I ask her. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I'm about to cry. Just
you did cry.
I know. This is before because then it turned golden. He started to have like an aura of gold. I was like, are you the?
Are you Jesus yourself? It's
I'm
Jesus or Jake? So.
What do you guys think? I don't care. I'll say yes.
What was it that you wanted to ask me?
So yeah.
Or is this not the time?
No, I'll do it.
Jacob's a place to solve.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, it wasn't too hard with you. You hated me anyway, so you never liked me.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we did something at the shop that
you had anal sex with the dog.
No, I hate to do. Okay. And so
it wasn't the anal sex because you love that.
This way. So I own the business. I do everything.
Yes.
But there's moments my dad will override me on something, and I'll be like with my teeth, because I know it's not going to be nice. So my question to you, which I hope is not too rude, which no one watches besides, Debbie's today, and Ashley, always. Yeah. Have you ever been asked to do a haircut that at the end that you're like, please don't tell anyone I did this to you? Like, please don't say you, like, because every ounce of you thinks it looks horrific and you just hate it, and they love it. And you're like, please. Have you ever been in these shoes?
Not necessarily hair, nails.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell my story.
But probably hair at some point.
I'm going to tell you. So
actually, it's usually every
person that comes in. Yeah. I'm like, please don't tell anyone.
Well, like, we're our worst critics, but
well, okay, yeah. What happens is there are certain type of dogs that you, just like I assume with people's hair, that you can't cut halfway.
Yeah.
Like it chatters.
Yeah.
And I would say fine or soft hair might do that to you. That for people, yeah. I mean,
So what do you mean by chatters? What does that mean?
So chatters means it does like and like when you cut, like if you cut someone's hair, you just kind of cut it, or you cut it. But if you cut it the wrong with certain hair, it makes like a chatter because it's so thin and it kind of doesn't cut straight. Like
I would say either like really thin straight hair,
right.
Because thin blonde, thin straight hair,
like
very worse.
Right. Okay. So speaking of that, most Goldens have to be cut down to not a shave, but real short, or left somewhat long.
Yeah.
Because they have that type
thin,
of
blonde, straight hair.
So this lady asked for not a summer clip, but like the neck, and I'm like, no, this chatters. It looks like they have mange because it doesn't cut evenly.
Yeah.
So it looks horrific. And she's like, no. And my dad did the whole override. Like, it's fine. It'll work. You'll be fine. And I'm like, no. So I'm doing this going, because it's just like, and
it's just like, and I've always
it does. No, don't you like the
That just got off. No.
So it's just, I mean, I smoothed it out the best I could, but it looks like it had mange. Like it just looked. And like I'm brushing against the grain. It's just not working.
Yeah. It's not blending.
It's not exactly.
Yes.
It's not blending nice. And I'm going, we need to. No. And my dad's like, no. Come on. He's like, it doesn't look that bad. And I'm like, and the lady came, oh my God. And I'm like, I want to cry. Like, I just was like, this is horrific. first of all, just for everyone to know, when you cut your dog like that, it doesn't cool your dog off. So you're not cooling anything off because they have undercoat and guard hairs, and you're just cutting the guard hairs. The undercoat is still there. That's why it's not cutting right, because dogs have 2 types of hair, not just one.
Yeah.
So when you cut it, all you're leaving, it's like having a winter jacket and then having a summer jacket. You're just cutting the summer jacket off and you're leaving the winter jacket on. So it's not keeping them cool. It's not doing what she wants it to do. It just looks, and I'm like, it doesn't even look good.
It's like cutting the hair when it looks like 2 weeks old.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Now, okay, I have another question for you. Yeah. Speaking, and this goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
We had someone said, you know what? I've been looking at a lot of pictures. And of course, you know when they look at pictures, you know what they're looking at.
Okay, first of all, it's never the right hair type. It's never the right thickness. It's never the right color. It's never the right anything. Your hair will never do it. And you're not the type that wants to style it.
No, right? One more big thing. It's a model.
Yes.
Oh, for me, it's a show dog.
Yeah.
So they're getting worked on every other day or every 3 days. Depends on the breed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so this one lady's like, okay, you know, I come every 6 weeks, and when I come back, this hair right here is so long. And so I say, well, we cut that. When I pick it up, it looks amazing. And I'm like, she goes, but in these pictures, I don't ever see that hair. I'm like,
because it's being cut every 5 minutes.
It's 5, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want that hair, then you need to come before the hair is officially grown to past that level that you don't want it to.
It's like getting a bang trim.
Oh, yes.
People never want to come in for just a bang trim.
Right.
They either fuck it up themselves and then I have to fix it.
Yeah.
Or they just wait until their next appointment, which then they don't book out for like 3 months, and they're like, oh, my bangs were so good in the beginning, but now they're like way too long. Like,
right.
Well,
you can
come in a little bit earlier than that.
I can't tell you how many people sit there and go, why is this happening? Why? Like, we haven't had this in a while, but I always get the ones that have the dog show picture, right? Mm-hmm. And go, why doesn't my dog look like this picture? And like, I look down, and this happened with a cocker.
It's just all one big knot.
No, it's a cocker spaniel. It's a cocker spaniel, right? And the cocker spaniel is all grown out, like just grown. And I remember it being, why doesn't it look like this? And so, this is when my dad was still in charge, and my dad's like, well, first of all, that's a show dog. Second of all, when's the last time you've had a haircut? Mm-hmm. And he says, I shit you not when I say this. No, it doesn't need a haircut. And why doesn't it look like this? And we're like, whoa. Dog show people, models are getting their hair done constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Like half the time before the shoot, before they take pictures, there's 3 people messing with their hair again.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And even during the pictures.
As they're like, you can see a finger. No, but I'm like, no. And my dad's like, no, you have to clip this dog to look like this. Mm-hmm. And they're like, no, it should just look like this. We're like, no. That and cropping seems to be the big thing. Mm. Not anymore. But why does my boxers not have his ears like it was like, well, they've been cropped. They've been cut to look like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to look like that, but I don't want it cut. Well, that's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
Can't tell you. It's
that's like when people come in and they're like, oh, I want to grow my hair out, so just a little bit out the ends, but then like half of this is dead, so it's like, well, you can grow it, but this is gonna be like looking like this forever, or it's probably not gonna grow because it's gonna snap off by the time it gets to the length that you want.
I can't tell you how many people like, I don't understand. Like, listen, I'd love for it to be one haircut, and it's set. Doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I come every 6 weeks, like you said. Yeah, because you're a pet owner. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a show owner, then you have to come every
week.
Yeah, technically, but sometimes you're like every other week, like, because you can kind of fudge it up a little. Not, cut something a little shorter, cut, so we can grow out. So by the time it comes in, it looks perfect. But it looks perfect. I was like, yeah, And I'm sure you get this. It looks so good. And then 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they look good. You're like, because your hair grows.
Mm-hmm. And you wanted it at that weird length. So now it's going to look even weirder because it grew up.
Thank you. Yeah. I get that all the time. Oh, it's not that hot yet. Oh, by the way, remember last time I want to fear. Remember I was saying, like, God, no one's coming. Like, no one coming in. Like, things have been kind of. It got hot 2 days all time. It never fails in my business. Every time we have 2 days of 80, oh my God, my dog needs to get a haircut right now. It's going to die. It's like,
I think I'll be fine, but
yeah, it's like
I will book you.
2 weeks ago, you could have easily,
yeah, and he would have been fine.
Would have been fine, but it was too cold. You're like, at 70, it's not too cold.
And also, dogs can probably regulate their temperatures pretty well.
He's just like. It's always the best is when people are like, oh, it's too cold. I'm like, oh, this dog must be outside. Oh, it's never outside, just to go potty and come right in. Then it's not going to get cold. Like it's like you.
They have coats for the dog, so they coat on it.
It's like you going to get the paper.
Right.
Just come right back.
People are fucking dumb. It drives me insane.
You know what the worst thing is? Is when you give them advice and they look at you like, what do you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like,
Meanwhile, Barnes is rocking at home rocking the at-home haircut.
Oh, there you go. Then.
Who cares?
Look, I'll never sit here and say to you ever like, oh, you need to come here, you need to go there. I get it. I try to be very realistic about things. Mm-hmm. But like I've had people come in and be like, I don't want to groom my dog. I'm be like, perfect. Then you need a short haircut. Real short.
Right.
But I don't want it short. Doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many people, and it's like a broken record. Tell me if this happens to you too. I want it long. So it's long. You're combing out knots. You're doing all the things you're supposed to do. Poor dog's going through. But it gets knots because it's only coming every 6 weeks or 8 weeks. We have those 8 weeks, and you're like, perfect. Mm-hmm. And you're like combing it all out, and you're like, this is a lot of work. This is a lot, And all of a sudden, you just know it. It's like one day they wake up and say, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm trying to brush at home. Can we just cut them short? And you're like, really?
That's a great idea. I wish I thought of it.
Really? It's like always, and it's always that point where it's always like,
I'm going to tell you right now.
Has that happened to you? Where it's like, not short, but where it's like they go from ridiculously hard haircut to like super easy, and you're like, why didn't you do this like 4 years ago? Mm-hmm. Because you haven't done a thing.
When I get a dog, because we will get dogs eventually in our life, that thing is going to be shaved down because I do not have the time and energy. I'm doing everybody else's hair. I'm not doing my dog's hair too,
Listen, you don't. It all comes down to, and I always say, and really, I do always say this, is it's how much time and effort you want to put in. Mm-hmm. I know people who come into the shop every 3 months because from nose to tail, it's cut down. I have a King Charles, I have a Golden. I can go through like tons of breeds. I like chop it down, and then in the summer we'll see them maybe 2 or 3 times throughout the summer just to keep it on the shorter side. Mm-hmm. And then we don't see them all winter. And they're like, we're going to grow this out because it's cold. Mm-hmm. And then maybe one time in the winter, they get like just everything, nails, feet, maybe body somewhat trimmed up.
Anal sex in there.
Only $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And then...
during Pride Month.
And then as soon as the spring hits, shave it all down. Like, chop it all off.
Yeah.
If you're going to do like that, that makes sense. That saves you money. That saves money. Mm-hmm. I mean, in the summer, you got to put a little more into it because you got to keep it a little bit shorter. That's fine, right? But it's the people who are like, I want it left long. And then it's like, oh, I've had so many people like, it's fine. I'm going to leave this long. I'll work on it. I'll do it. Every single time, every single person always has one dog. They get into the rhythm. They do a good job. And then somewhere before that pup passes away, way too early, they go, I want to buy a second one. And then the second one doesn't have the same type of coat, doesn't have the same type of, and it becomes like, it's like having two different type of hairstyles. And then it's like, wait a minute, this one's curly. Why do I have to work so hard on this one? And I didn't know. It's like,
just at my mom next time. She's like, oh, this person's hair is so great. And then you got mine where it's like,
oh, yeah. Yeah. And then it's like,
and then Sammy's was the same as the first one. So
yeah.
lucked out there. But
and it's just like, and I just can't tell you. Like, I don't ever sit there and go, you have to get a haircut. If you're going to work and do the time and do that. But I can't tell you how many people come in. It's like, I've been combing this dog out. Oh, that's my big thing. I will bless my dad on this because him being retired and he just kind of sits there and at the door, he'll grab me and be like, no, you know what? Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Because I can't tell you how many people are like, oh, I've been combing this all day. We had a customer. I combed it up 3 times last night. Coley head to toe.
Just one area.
Like, you don't even need to, like, you just need a bath.
Yeah.
Dog is 100% mats. And I, all the time, want to run downstairs and grab a comb and be like, please show me how you combed out this dog. I want to see how a comb went through this dog. Like, did you just, like, air comb it? Like, you know, like dogs
The
here? And
surface
you're
comb.
like, oh my gosh, this is perfect.
Just the surface.
Like, how did you even get through that? Like, a comb eventually, I don't know. It just kills me. Like,
They use the wrong side of the comb.
the teeth doesn't perfect. It combs out wonderful.
The amount of times I accidentally used the wrong side of the comb when I went to I'm like, stupid.
I think we've all done those moments. I think we've all had those moments.
I shouldn't do that moment. That's my job.
No, but I've had those moments where I go, I'm like, well, helps if I use the rake the other side. No, but, oh, God, I had this one thing. I was like, please don't tell anyone you came here. I was like, tell me when the bed go. This one grew.
Oh.
But the worst is when they love it.
Oh, yeah.
That's
You're like,
the
you
worst.
love that? Okay.
Oh, my God. And you're like, and I try so hard to have that smile, like, oh, I'm so happy. That's why I usually let my dad do it. I'm like, Dad, you got to do this. No way I can do this. Because I'm like,
Can you do that face again, please?
Blind? I literally.
Looks great.
Because it looks like it has some disease. Oh, God. Like, and of course, I don't have that. Like, I don't have a salesman attitude. Or maybe I do. I have that blunt salesman that will tell you, like, this is great, but this does a shitty job with this. But this is great like this, though. Like, I'm that guy. Like, I can never just not tell you the bad part.
Oh, yeah.
When it's just, oh, my God, look at you. You look like a puppy. I'm like, dying. Literally downstairs.
The ugliest thing I've ever seen. Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Please say you went to Petco. Please. And my dad just looks at me. It wasn't that bad. I'm like,
Dad, were your eyes open?
Dude, give me your
glaucoma.
My glaucoma was kicking in.
Maybe that's your problem. You got rid of your glaucoma.
It took the pin off. I was like, what? You've never had that with the haircut when they walk out? You got to have the haircut. You know, I picture you is that wrong face, wrong haircut.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot of those because they just want what's trendy. And
right. I feel like that has to be your thing. But like, I have a nice round face, so I want something really short and like
bullish.
Yeah, bullish. Yeah, I was thinking that like bullish, and you're like, it's not going to make your okay.
Perfect.
Like, how do you do that? Like, do you have to like just?
I try. Well,
be like.
I try and let them decide. Like at the end of the day, if you want that haircut,
no, yeah. No, that's the same with me. Well, to some degree, because sometimes I can't physically do it.
Usually, they usually have a picture.
Well,
so I usually dissect it. I'm like, okay, and then like I'll bring the hair. I'm like, okay, so you want it to like look like this, right? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, and I like physically move the hair so that way they can visualize
so
it.
you can see all forehead, or oh my god, forehead.
Or like sometimes there's a
That's actually pretty cool.
Did I just move the hair?
Yeah, you can move the hair because that would be like I don't think I can't do that for dogs.
Yeah.
But no,
honey, what do you like?
But no, for you. But that's so like, oh yeah, that's a great way to do things. Like, you know what I mean?
Especially with bangs, because
yeah.
I'm not taking my hair down.
No.
But like a lot of people want the curtain bangs. So I like, do you want your curtain bangs up here? Do you want them here? Want them down here? And I'll physically take the hair and like loop it that way, so that way it like cuts off there. And then I know right away in the mirror what length would be good for you.
Yeah, I know.
But I need them to make sure that that's the length that they want. And I'm like, sometimes they pick the wrong length. I'm like, you're gonna hate that. You're gonna hate that.
Yeah,
or like that's gonna bother you so much because it's gonna be at that length.
The ones
people who want bangs that are like halfway in their eyeballs.
Oh my gosh.
Or like just under the eyebrow. I'm like, that's gonna be pissing you off in like next week.
Yeah, because it grows out next to it, and then
I had somebody come in last week and she wanted her bangs like just at her eyebrows. I'm like, do you want me to cut them just a little bit shorter so that way next week you're not back here in my chair? And she's like, yeah. You can't go back.
Yeah.
Can't go back to where?
Going back with your haircuts. Like when you get the haircuts. Yeah. Like that's the other. Have you had that remorse, like that instant, like, oh, I fucked up. This does not look good. Because I feel like I've had customers wanted A, fight for A, pup comes up, and it's, oh my gosh. Actually, it happened once where the lady actually cried this is a long time ago, is that what happens is the guard hairs was one color, but when you cut them down extra short, the underneath coat was a different color.
Yeah.
And when they came up a different color, they were
convinced, you dyed my dog.
That's actually what she said. You dyed my dog. We're like, yeah, that's what we want to do. Spend 3 hours dyeing a dog. Like,
I could not even imagine dyeing a dog.
Like
head to toe, pass.
Yeah, I'm all set on that. I couldn't even. Now we've bleached a pup for Clumber Spaniels for showing. You bleach them white, and I say I use the word bleach. It doesn't mean we use real bleach.
Yeah.
Before everyone, it's like you don't use real bleach to bleach your hair. Do you? No. It's bleaching chemical.
It's actually called lightener.
Right, but it's the same thing. Actually, it's the same with us. It's kind of like it's actually a bluing shampoo that actually blues it to actually bring out the white. Yeah. I know you know, but I'm kind of actually talking for them.
Because it cancels out the. Is it blue or is it purple?
It's purple blue. Yeah, it's purple blue.
So it cancels out the yellow.
Because there are some that are like a deep blue and some are like purple. So I mean, it's all the same, but they basically look the same. And you like there's been times that I washed a Clumber Spaniel from head to toe, like from literally the top of its head, not its nose, not its eyes, but from like top of its head, its ears, all the way. That was like all blue, like it was a Smurf. It was just all like purple blue, and it's like half sudsy, half because you're trying, because sometimes the dog gets much dirtier than a human being. So there's sometimes you're putting straight on, and you're just like.
Well, with those, you're not supposed to make them sudsy. Oh, bye,
Deb. Ice cream's here.
Yeah, Oakley's back. Those you're not supposed to emulsify because then you take away from the
right. It's not super sudsy, but yeah. And so we land up. I've had moments where, and then I spend like the next 4 hours trying to rinse all the stuff off. That's the hardest for us because dogs have a thick coat that you're trying to get underneath, all in that undercoat. But they come out. There's been times I've been like, whoa, like night and day. Like they have a yellow, not going to say yellow tint, but like a tint to them. And then you watch them and you're like, wow, you're really pearly white here. And there's been times where I'm like, yep, I'm going to have to do more than one bath on you. Like, there's been a few times where like, this is not a one bath. This is like, I'm here. And when my dad was showing, I remember going over a few times and washing a Clumber 3 or 4 times and then getting the next Clumber, washing it whatever it needed, and being like, and my dad did it too. So it's not like it was just me, but there was a few times I had to help out. But I remember being like, phew. And then they still go to the dog show and they still get another bath, whitening bath, and then they get there's this other stuff that they actually put into the coat with corn syrup and some like a clown makeup to actually make a few spots even whiter. It's like being in Miss America, where they put Vaseline on your teeth so your gums don't stick to your teeth. Like it's all those little things, and that's. I watched a thing on pageants once, like legit, and by the time I was done watching it, I'm like, these aren't even real girls. I wonder what they look like with, because half time they got push up bras, push up.
Whoa. Having a black dog is fun because sometimes the bath water isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Other times it's so dirty. You really don't know what you're going to get
Yeah.
until you start scrubbing them down.
Yeah, it's true. You don't know what you get because it's the undercoat that would. But that's what we're talking about. See, what happens is you can look at your dog and not like people. See, that's what people get confused. There's two layers of hair for a dog. There's the guard hairs and there's undercoat. The most important thing you should always do actually is comb out your dog before you give him a bath. The reason why is as you're combing out the knots, which people hair is the opposite. You put them in water, knots usually some will fall apart when you get conditioner.
Depends on the hair.
Depends on the hair. But dog's hair will always mat up tighter. And the other reason is too because you have two layers of hair. If you're combing out the undercoat like properly, so for instance, like if I'm gonna just use Saxon Sat is that when you comb out your dog, you're combing right to the skin. You can feel his skin or her skin.
So you're bringing up that
You're
debris.
bringing up. And then what happens is when you give a bath, you've opened up all the pores and the hair thing, if you will, from the undercoat because you've loosened up all the thickness.
Yeah.
And then that's what, when you give them a bath, you get a proper bath right to their skin. Kind of like you would with your own hair. You just don't put soap in and don't do it. You scrub your hair. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I do. No, you need to comb them out before the bath, not after the bath. Remember that.
She said that, and then she said
once
do it after.
Once he's dry.
She does do.
Oh, both.
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
both.
she does both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good too. But most of the time, most of all your hair. So what happens is most of your hair that comes off in the beginning of the bath. So here's the trick: if you're like right now, your dog should be shedding. So here's the trick:
he should be shitting.
Shitting too.
Yeah, always.
Here's the trick. Yeah, okay, I misunderstood. Sorry, Ashley. Here's the trick though.
He was an LD.
Stop making fun of me. No. Here's the trick. Right now, dogs are shedding because of the weather change, and you're probably seeing lots of loose hair. If you want more of the hair to come off faster, give them a warm bath. Because the warmer the bath is, the more their body says shed. So what happens if you have a nice warm bath? After the bath, he'll be shedding even more. Now, I know you're like, well, I don't want that. Well, if you don't do that, he sheds throughout the next couple of months. So instead of getting it done in like a week or two, you're going to have
forever.
Yeah, because I have some people that they go, I don't want a warm bath. They are, like I don't want to do that, and it's like summertime, so they give cold baths.
Take printing notes down.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm just trying to help you. Cold baths. When I say cold, I mean like not ice cold, but keeps them going. Oh, I need to keep growing hair, so that keeps the cycle going. Because I know a lot of people in the summer are like, oh, we just give them cold, like go outside, just hose baths, and it does work. But the problem is, did you get off the hair in the beginning? Because if you didn't get off that hair, you're kind of constantly building on the loose hair on their body, and they're not shedding properly, which can cause skin problems, or sometimes they don't dry properly. Not her dog, because I shouldn't. Most King Charles doesn't have that type of, like a Labrador or Golden will have that undercoat that will keep them wet, and they don't have skin problems because they don't dry properly. That's the other trick. A lot of people will be like, it's half dry, or my dog goes in the ocean. I love when my dog goes swimming. Yeah, but do you dry them? No. I mean, if it's a like King Charles, that's no big deal because they don't really have an undercoat. But when Goldens and Labs, they have that undercoat that doesn't dry. So 3 days later, you can actually still touch them and they can still be wet.
So they're like moldy.
Then it becomes what I call it's a fungus they can get. They call it
Yeah.
rain rot, and then their hair start falling out
Mm.
because it just basically the fungus is eating
Yeah.
the hair particles. And then I can't tell you how many people that let their dogs go into the ocean in the water. Why is this a problem? Because you're not having them groomed enough. You're not grooming them, or you're not having them groomed enough.
Yeah.
Whatever the trick is, you got to get this coat off.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to come that often. I don't, I can't afford it. And I go, I understand. Then you have to. Yeah, but that's hard. I can't do that.
Then don't have this dog.
You can't say that, but I know. Yeah, it's kind of like having long curly hair. I used to have a girl that had beautiful long curls, beautiful all over her head. And then when I really started, I will say heavy dating her, when you're going over a house waiting for her to get ready, and you're watching all the product that she had to put in her hair and she would have to kind of I'm like, you don't dry it? She's like, I kind of dry it, kind of not, because if I dry it, it becomes frizzy. And I'm like, oh, this is a lot of work.
Sure is.
And she's like, well, but that's my hairstyle, and it doesn't matter if I cut it short or long. I have these, I would say like a banana curl, maybe a little tighter.
Yeah.
It wasn't a curl. It was more like loose curls. And I was like,
you know what I'm finding a lot more right now?
Well,
there's a lot of I have a couple of teenagers who have really that really coarse curly hair.
Yeah.
And they want to keep it long. That's fine. But it's on their forehead. And so when I go to wash their hair, their whole forehead is all broken out. Oh, so I was like, listen, you need to make sure you're washing your face all the time.
Right.
And when you put product in, make sure that when you do wash your hair, you wash everything out of there.
Right, yeah. Because it's a quick shower. And some of the coarse hair, I don't know how this was, but I knew a kid who had, I swear to God, water would hit it and repel. It just bounce off.
Oh, yeah.
He had that fro-y hair.
Yeah.
It was a white
That's
kid,
what I'm talking
but
about.
He had a fro-y hair. Once the water hit it would bounce off. Just dude, does it even get wet? He's like, no, I have to soak it.
You have to really it's like a sponge. You really have to
And I've always said that. 2 hands. No, I appreciate it. I've always loved learning better. But yeah, okay. I just don't want you to take it like I'm trying to. You're not here, so I don't know if I'm getting the. This guy's crazy. You know? But like I said, you try to get all that undercoat with certain that. It's the same. People and dogs are exactly in some ways. The hair is not exactly the same because hair is different. Because I can't tell you, I just put conditioner in the hair and all the knots come out. That's great, but that doesn't work for dogs because they have 2 layers of hair. So it's a different type of thing.
She said she was stealing all the free information.
Yeah, that's fine. Believe it or not, I know people think it's crazy, but as much as I love what I do,
hey, we were just using you.
Yep, we were just using you. No.
Another thing for people though, if you have curly hair, make sure it's wet when you brush it. If you have straight hair, make sure it's dry when you brush it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, curly hair is.
If you have thick hair, what's that?
What do you mean?
Like Marin and I have very thick hair, and I feel like
if you have straight hair, make sure it's dry.
Hair, but I have straight hair out of the shower. But if I let it dry, it curls.
So then you have curly hair.
Okay, so all right. So I do comb it when it's wet.
Okay,
because that's the only time I can. Because when it's dry, I comb it. I'm like,
because you have curly hair. So it's straight hair is more fragile when it's wet, and curly hair is more fragile when it's dry because curly hair is the best way I can describe it is curly hair is kind of like what's the one that's kind of flat? Fettuccine?
Fettuccine, yep.
It's like a fettuccine noodle that's wound up because it has to go like this.
Okay.
straight hair is like a spaghetti, which is
you.
round, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the curly hair is more susceptible to breaking because it's already like flat.
I gotcha. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Well, fun fact.
Fun fact. Yeah, but it's with all dogs. You'd always come out. It doesn't matter what it is. You always should come out.
Did you read what Matt said?
Even no, what is
feeling used by Niles? Dirty and acceptable. Matt, are you turtling? Are you coming out of your shell?
Oh my. That's a little personal. I don't know. I think that's a little personal for a lesbian to be asking a straight married man.
Does it matter?
Nope. I'd answer it all day. I'm having a heart attack. I mean, my dick's hard.
I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah, no, I probably I can't tell you how many people come in and they're like, I do A, but I don't do B. It's like you need to do A, B, and C.
Yeah. What happened to C?
I don't want to do that. I just want to do A.
That's how I feel about like hair too.
Right.
That's why I'm always like, how much time do you spend on your hair in the morning?
Right.
Are you up and going? Because if that's so, that's not the hairstyle.
See, that's why I don't get about people. I feel like they always want the thing that they're not going to do.
And but I hate when they're like, what should I do with my hair? Bitch, I don't know.
That's why
I do know, but I don't know.
I have a lot of customers that come in and do that. What do you think?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not my dog.
Yeah.
Because like I know what I did for my dogs, but it's not means what you're going to do. Because I did exactly what you said for my dogs. I always kept them nice and short because there was no reason to grow out hair.
Yeah.
Actually, the only time that's a lie. I used to do the classic shave them down during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing, usually around mid-April, maybe beginning of May or the end of April, I'll give them a full haircut. Then I will see how far I can go.
Only do half the side.
Just half the side. No, I'm just. But
are you doing it?
No, I do the front and back. No. You never go this way. You never go this way. You go this way.
Do you shave this part or this part? So is he wearing pants or is he wearing a shirt? Is he winning the poo again? Or Mickey Mouse out?
And then I would do that. Cut them real short. And then maybe sometimes it would be almost July. Sometimes you would have to do like another hair. Sometimes a little earlier. Depends on, because I've had different pups. I've had an
on the diagonal. Perfect.
Oh, okay. Now we're pushing it.
You just do stripes.
Matt spends a total of 2.3 seconds on his
Okay,
hair.
so something with like long hair would not work for him because that doesn't.
So I would do that and then clip them. I would probably clip them 3 or 4 times before the summer's over, because I try to get a little bit longer, like right, and I would get right until November-ish to kind of go, okay, I'm done, and then I let her hair kind of grow. I still trim up the feed or trim up the thing when I had longer haired dogs and let them, because then when they go to the bathroom in the snow and stuff, they would play, and I just go fine because they would have the hair, you know. And that's how I would do it. And I would go and I would look at these people like, I don't think you're going to do that. Like, or the dog would come in. And when they come in, like sometimes they come in with a real beautiful golden or a real nice dog. And I'd be like, I wouldn't do that if I owned that dog. Like, I wouldn't do that. Like, I didn't shave my Labrador. I had a Labrador. I just constantly had to groom it. That was one of those changing of the tides constantly. I felt like, oh, we're going to be shedding. Oh, we're going to be, because, believe it or not, dogs shed their winter coat and their summer coat. A lot of people don't know that because a lot of people are like, well, it's growing hair. Yeah, but it's losing the summer coat. You just don't see it as much. And all dogs do shed. And I know that people are like, no, I got a golden doodle or it shed means fall off and hit the ground. But all dogs blow their coats. It's just that, and you've always said that. And
I'm not gonna say anymore. I'm just gonna
just raise your hand. Like like a King Charles. They'll shed, but doesn't always hit the ground. What happens is it gets caught into the good hair, and that's what makes the mats. So like poodles, Malteses, like little dogs, and standard poodles, or now the doodles, whatever word, golden doodles, labradoodles, like
Yeah.
those are all dogs.
So then those, how do you comb those?
You gotta do the
Because they're
same
curly.
thing.
So
Oh,
is it?
same thing is you gotta get a brush and you gotta get through it, and you gotta because you still can comb through it even when it's tight, the tight curl. That's been my motto. That's in my car.
It's around the steering wheel.
It's on the shift.
Oh my god! Speaking of that, quick tangent. Dana and I went to the gym today, and there was this car parked right up front, and it had like one of those pink fuzzy steering wheels.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, I would hate to touch that thing because it's not even like the soft kind. It's like that.
Oh, is it the bubble kind, like the rough, like nubby kinds?
No, it's like that, like disgusting fur.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Like I don't even know how to describe it.
It's like grimy. It looks grimy.
Yeah, it feels like it's from like 1942.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like you feel like there's product in it, like not product, but like protect. Oh, it's protective plastic.
It's almost like a costume.
Yes,
fluff.
I know. Yes, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So like I'm looking at the car and I show Veda, and then I like look. I happen to walk past just enough to look in the car. This shifter had the same fucking thing on it. So it was just like this fluffy thing of a shift.
Like, don't you shift your muff?
Mine's not fluffy like that.
You have no skin either, but
just bones.
It's just organs and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
like fun fur? Yeah, I guess so.
Like fun fur.
Is that what it's called?
I don't know if it's really fun.
Yeah, it's not fun to touch, that's for sure. And I've never said that.
That should be the thing. I've never said that. That's going to be a new thing, and I've never said that. I can't tell you. But, it's, and so people go, "What would you do?" And I always go, "No, what would you do? What do you want?" I love the ones. Oh, have you got this one yet? I know you got this one. I want it left long, but I want it short for the summer. But I want it really long. I want his face really short because when he drinks a lot of water, he spits everywhere. But I want it left long. And I feel like when I'm there, I'm like, I lose my soul because I'm like, and all of a sudden I hear my dad, I know what she wants. I'm like, what? You know what she wants?
I like when they're like, I want like nothing off the length. But I want like, I feel it doesn't do anything, but it's like down to that angle. So I'm like, yeah, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, it's that. Can I have, and like the whole conversation is, can I have this? And then instantly take it away. The next thing. Like,
or they want layers, and it's like, honey, like you have 4 hairs on your head. There's gonna be no layers.
You're like,
or it seems thinner on this side. Have you noticed it's thinning on this side? I'm like, no. Do you sleep on that side? Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm like, that's probably why, because it lays down more. And also, I'm not in your head every day like you are.
Yeah.
So I can't tell if you're thinning that quickly, you know?
Yeah.
If you were here 5 weeks ago and you think your hair is thin that much,
right?
No, I can tell you right now, it has not.
Right.
That's just you thinking that it has.
I just love people. I want it short. I don't want it too long, but I need it. But I want a summer clip. But I don't want you to cut it too short. And I instantly go, well, what do you think a summer clip is? Summer clip is to make the pup cool.
Yeah.
But don't cut it too short.
Men like to say, I'll take a number 4 on the side. I'm like, okay.
What's a number? I know. I hate when they do
but
that.
every clipper is different. So I was like, I'll show you what a number 4 looks like.
Oh no, I get that.
But
all the
also,
time.
who wants a number 4 because that's doing nothing for you?
They come in and they're like, I want a 0. We're like, and I'm like, 0. What the hell's a 0? Like, I don't have a 0 blade. They're like, yeah, no, real short. I'm like, 0. I'm not. But just for you know, pets clippers go. The lower is the higher. So the shorter we go, the higher the number is.
Yeah.
Like a surgical blade is like a 40.
Why?
Why what?
Why
is it a
do
40?
That?
I don't know why. I know. I
don't know if you had an answer.
No, I don't have an answer. I have no clue why.
That's like earrings. The smaller the number, the bigger the gauge. Why?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that?
It's probably
that
one
makes
of those.
That makes this much sense. I'll take a 0 on that.
And I can't tell you how many people come in and they'll be like, I want a number. And you're just looking at them like, okay, so clearly a groomer told you this, but what are they using? Is that 0, like, is that supposed to be a spacer?
But they're probably thinking like, oh, I have a 0 on my head.
Or that too. I've seen that. I've heard, like, that's a big thing. People that do hair. Oh, I do hair, so I know what to do. And then they come to, yep, everything went wrong when I tried to do this myself. And it's like, yeah, because it's a different.
Excuse me.
It's a different rule. Like,
very occupied. Thank you.
It's a different rule. Like, everything's different.
Oh, do you shave up or do you shave down? Against the grain or with the grain?
Majority of the pup is with the grain.
That's what I figured.
But there are some areas that you can go against, but very few.
That's what I figured
because if you cut against the grain, it cuts it shorter.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
If I'm just saying, a 5 blade, it'd make it more like a 7 blade. Like it just drops it down. Like,
because yours goes the other way. We just talked about it.
Yeah, I just
talked about it. I was like,
wait a minute.
You think that's wrong?
But I'm right. Don't argue with the expert. Like that.
Listen, I cut hair. I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I can't tell you how many guys come in and been hairstylists, been like, and the dog's like a mess. Like there's chop marks, and they're like, I don't understand. Like, it's just, I cut something and it should look good, and it just made this horrible like chatter cut. Like, and I'm like, yeah, because the way you have to, like, you have to comb it all out. You have to wash it. You have to do certain things before you just do things. It's just not that simple. If it was that simple, and I always say this, if it was that simple, every moron can do it. Just like I can't fix a car. I'm sure if I sat and studied and did all my homework like I was supposed, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And wanted to learn, you can do it, but you just can't. I always think about this. I always laugh because I have other friends besides Joey that are mechanics, and I always just think to myself, like, every year cars change, and that must be something you always have to keep changing and learning. Like, it never ends, but yet we all laugh at mechanics, but I always feel like that's the hardest job to do.
Mechanics, hairdressing, dog grooming, same thing.
Yeah, it
different. The remix of each other.
It is.
Anything that's like a trade is considered like not a real job. Anyone can do it. But it's not true.
But it's not true.
I would not have gone to school and paid as much money as I did if that was it.
This is how I feel. Yes, everyone can do it. But you have to learn to do it.
Right.
Like, there isn't I get it, every moron can do it. Like, if you wanted to do it, you could do it. Like,
yeah.
But you can't be a professional
singer. People get mad of how much we charge.
Right.
But it's still like,
you know what the problem is? I feel like they get mad. My business, I get really annoyed about it because I feel like they'll spend $20 million on their vet bills for the pup to go in to get one shot, to get, now they do nails or wherever you go.
Yeah.
They're trying to get you, and then your bill is like $1,000 and you just walked right in.
Yeah.
And that's like, okay, because I'm helping my little buddy, or, like, they justify it that way. And then they come to the grooming shop and like, you're ripping me off. And it's like, actually, the vet doesn't work as hard and doesn't do as much as I have to do because I only have so many hours to get this all done. That should take you every other day of grooming your dogs, or not every other day, but like you doing it, you're bringing it with like 6 weeks of work that I have to now do in 3 hours, 4 hours, and try to keep them calm, stress free, you know, relaxed, you know. Good luck.
Yeah.
And people go, wow, I don't understand. I'm like, that, or that's the other big thing now is, do all the dogs run together? No. Why not? I want to go somewhere the dog, oh, okay, well, this is not the place for you because I don't need little Fluffy to get eaten by Bowser. So, you know, like I don't.
I'm sorry, this is not puppy playtime. This is puppy groom time.
Like, I don't know when you.
And not that you're grooming the dogs, but you're grooming the dogs.
And that's the other thing. Well, do you do it from head to toe? No. Why? Like when I say head to toe, I mean like from beginning to end. Like you just work on my dog and then just send it home. No, we do. Our procedure is we groom them in the morning. We get so much done. Give them 2 complete baths. Let them relax. We let them breathe. They get under air circulators, not heaters, so they don't dry as fast. And it's relaxing, or we try to make that relaxing. Because if we do it all at once, can you imagine working on a dog for like
that has no idea what's
2 hours, like 2 just go.
How long are the dogs usually there for?
Well, we usually have last
finish
pup. What
hairstylist does Anna Glance? Not me.
What hairstylist does it?
I can refer you to someone who bleaches assholes if that's what you want. Or waxing. I know a guy.
You might have no skin. You might not have an asshole. It might be on the paper. Perfect. No need to bleach it.
Hey, you just saved yourself a colonoscopy.
I don't always. That's so funny. Okay, what was this?
I don't know.
Usually drop off. We usually have everyone drop off. Depends what day, but it's usually from 7:30, and the last thing is 8:00, and then everyone goes home around 12:30 ish. Like we try.
And what's the max amount of? I almost said dogs that you can have during that time?
Well, we're much smaller. We used to.
I know, but what do you think?
We used to years ago. We used to work from 8 to 5. I mean, 8 to 5. No, because around 8 to 5, a little before 8, but could drop off from 7 to 8. But we started at 8:00 to 5, and we used to do 35 to 25, and now it's just me. So I do about 7 pups, and before everyone gets like 7, it all depends on the breeds because it's not 7. Like all Goldens, like it's got to be. It's kind of like
same with us.
I'm sure with you, you can't do all day petties because it take up too much time. Like I'm just saying, or the full schedule ones where it's like from head to toe. You can't schedule. Like maybe you can do 3 head to toe person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how you work, but I'm just saying there must be this like days that you go, I can fit a petty here, or I can fit nails here.
Yeah.
Manny here, and then sometimes
like each service definitely
every day is different.
Yeah.
Isn't that the way it goes? Like every day is a new. I never look at my days, so like I know I schedule everything, but I kind of like
surprise yourself.
And then the next thing I do, I go in the next day and be like, oh yeah, I got these guys. Okay, all right, okay, and I
could look at the book all day and still be like, oh, I feel like you're coming in today.
Yes, that's a normal thing for me. Or
Karen's always like, who do you have next? I'm like, I don't fucking know.
It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, because I feel like for me, especially when I was younger, you dwell about it. You're like, oh, I got that hard one tomorrow. Oh God, and then you don't sleep. You don't think.
I do check to see, like I have a couple of people with like 7 heads of hair, like worth on their head. So like I check to see like, oh my God, is this gonna be a heavy arm workout day? Like the kind of thing. Or like pedicure wise, like if I don't wear skirts anymore, but if I were to wear a dress, I wouldn't want to wear it on a petty day.
Yeah.
So I mean I could, but
that's what I was gonna order. Best one ever.
There are some women who wear some short dresses while they get their pedis, and I'm like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
If you move your leg one direction,
yeah.
my head's like this the whole time.
Beautiful feet, beautiful feet.
And then they ask a question, I'm like,
you ask a question like, I'm listening.
Yeah. That's a different kind of service. It is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't do happy endings. Sorry.
Last
Not in the salon, at least.
Oh my.
Kelsey keeps telling me I need to start selling my feet pics.
We got the classic one because you guys don't have this problem. This is like the new thing now we have. What time can I pick up? 12:30. Okay. Now we have some people that like 1:00 and I will go fine. Like I'm not. Mm-hmm. I can't go super late, but usually 12:30, 12:45. Okay, so I'll be here at 12:00. No problem. It's Cobb and Cobb. Ring, 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 ring. Hello? Hi, is Maddie done? Okay. And of course, people don't understand. We have more than one Maddie sometimes in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sometimes it works that way. And I'll be like, can you last name? Because, and people are like, it's Maddie.
Dogs with a last name? Hilarious. I mean, obviously they have a last name, but just to think that they have a last name.
But just like, you just sit there and you're like, really? It's Maddie. And you're like, yeah, but I actually have another Maddie here today. Like, you didn't name your dog like, some, absolute weird name. It's like one, or is Hershey there? And you're like, I have
6 of them.
I've had that. Like, I used to have that. Now it's usually 1 or 2, but so they'll be like, I'll be like, last name. They'll say, oh, and they get kind of annoying. They'll be like, oh, are you done with them? And I'm like, 12:30. It's 12:00, and or we're almost done, or about 10 minutes away. Like, guess this person's gonna come early, right? Calling 12:00, gonna want to come early. Not really gonna, I don't like it, but hey, I'd rather early than late. Okay, fine. Okay, I think I'll try to get there around 12:30.
Huh?
I'm like, perfect. All right, we'll see you at 12:30. I'm thinking to myself, like, that was the time we had set up. Like, why did you call early? Why are you calling at noon to make sure you're done at 12:30 when we said, hey, why don't you pick up at 12:30?
What a great idea. I think she might be ready by then.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
10 minutes. I got like 10 minutes and I'll be done. It's like, you're just like, we've had people call and be like, well, when do you think you'll be done? Oh, well, 12:30. Really? You really go, oh, well, I'm in the parking lot right now waiting. You're like, oh, God,
it's 9 o'clock. Well, you got like 3.5 hours. So if you want to go do something, not a doctor's appointment, but if you want to go do something on the island.
Did I ever tell you the day about the Yorkie with my dad?
I think so, but tell quick.
This is a long time ago. This lady brought in the dog, and oh my God, this dog's penis was swollen so bad.
It's in parking lot for the full 5 hours. That alone is worth the big butt.
Yeah, it's a different type of service.
And they get so mad that it costs so much. Reality, I get the show.
I'm just
sorry.
His penis was swollen.
Wait, what?
So this lady brought in a Yorkie.
And your dad's penis was swollen?
No, not my dad's. His was okay. At least I think it was.
You're just, no, it was swollen, that thing!
And this dog's penis was so swollen that when it came in, and like my dad, I remember bringing it down. I'm like, Dad, this dog got to go to the vet. And he said, what are you talking about? And then, he had kind of noticed, like, oh my God, I didn't think it was like that bad. So she calls up the lady. The lady says, I'm sitting in the parking lot because I'm afraid the FBI will come and steal my dog's seed.
Huh?
So she says the FBI had been coming into her car, breaking into her car, and jerking off her dog to steal her dog's seed. And that's why his penis was so swollen from all the jerking off. But I remember my dad saying this on the phone. He's like, and I'm like, what's up? And then he tells me, I'm like, what? The FBI sneaks and hides and crawls up to her car, opens the car, and jerks off the little Yorkie, steals his seeds. I don't know what for, but
you don't even need to do that. It's just like
I didn't know you did it so many times.
No.
Happy ending.
Not into that. For the FBI out there.
The FBI. Yes, the FBI was stealing stealing her dog's seed, and that she was sitting in the parking lot, but we told her she had to go to the vet, and she says, she was uncomfortable. My dad's like, we really can't groom him because it was so swollen, couldn't even put it back. That it wasn't healthy, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. And with the dog, and we never saw it. We never saw it again. I think the FBI probably took it.
Probably. The FBI was on the set. Ha! Sucker!
In the back room. Two more loads, little guy. It's all IV because it's all dehydrated. Well, I gotta tell you, now explains why the dog had a smile all the time, though.
Instead of the federal, it's the Fido. What does FBI stand for? Federal
Bureau of Investigation.
So Fido Bureau of Investigation.
So that was your funny dog story for the day.
All right,
we're out.
I'm naming this.
Watch out, Ashley, for the FBI. Your poor dog.
Until Nyla started showing you.
I hate her. I hate you, Ashley.
Bye.
Bye, Ashley. Bye, everybody. See you next Thursday.